it wasn't like no, you know, we was just on some cool type shit. But I mean, I know you forever. Either way though, so I was riding down the road. I was in St. Pete, and it was me and Tamia, and we was riding down the street. We was on 16th Street. You know, we was in the white part of town. We was on the north side, so you really ain't thinking, you know, about nothing. I had just picked up from school. I was going back to go. We was finna go get us something to eat, and we finna have a good old day. She'll tell you herself. And so, next thing you know, whoop whoop, I get pulled, and I'm like, what the fuck? And so, dude comes to the car, and he's like, license and registration, and I'm like, what did I do? Why'd you stop me? And he like, license and registration, and I'm like, why did you pull me over?
Right.
You know, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck happened, because I read that, and that's the problem. I went and I looked at their statutes and their laws ahead of time, and so I had already known that your rules and your laws and your statutes say that I have the right to be let alone. So, bitch, why the fuck are you bothering me at this point? Now I need to know why you bothering me. And so this bitch, license and registration. What the fuck did you stop me for? At this point, like, you, the fuck? And so, next thing you know, you will not control this traffic stop. And I'm like, bitch, I'm trying to see what the fuck you bothering me for. Your rules and your statutes, your laws that you go by say that you're not supposed to bother me unless you got a reason. I have the right to be let the fuck alone. So why are you messing with me? Why are you bothering me? You can't tell me that shit. No, bitch, you ain't getting shit from me. I don't care who the fuck you are. And so then he called 4 of his police buddies. One of them was black. One of them was Asian. That shit was fucked up. And had the nerve to bust my window out, which that shit ain't been right since. He bust my window out. You know I had that shit up. You ain't finna reach in my shit. He bust my fucking window out. The car wasn't even in park, which was crazy because my daughter in the back seat. So they bust my window out, and he pulled me out the car. As Tamia says, drags me out the car, slam me on the ground. The car, of course, starts rolling. so I'm like, what the fuck? And so I'm on the ground at this point. Boy, I'm mad as fuck. Boy, I'm mad as fuck. This bitch put me in the back of his fucking truck, and then gets on Facebook. And I'm looking through the back of the car like, bitch, are you really on Facebook? You gonna pull me over? Don't tell me what the fuck I did, and then you gonna get on Facebook after you bust my shit out and drag me out the motherfucking car. And so, of course, I'm pissed, I'm mad or whatnot. And my grandma get there, and then they gonna tell my grandma some bullshit, different kinds of bullshit. You know, don't nobody really know what the fuck is going on. They just know they got called by their friend. Yeah. And so it's like a whole big situation. And of course I went to spend the night in jail or whatnot, which it wasn't too bad. Them sandwiches was dirty looking as a motherfucker. I ain't eat that shit. But yeah. And so the thing that he ended up sending me a ticket for, which I just paid the shit, because at this point, you know, Alan and Deborah get involved, and you be trying to walk on the straight and narrow sometimes, you know. And my cousin even told me a seatbelt and a suspended, like, my tag and shit. But the thing is, your tag was suspended? Well, this is my thing here. This is all I have to say about this. If my license was not valid, that means we don't have a contract that's valid either. And so you really shouldn't be fucking with me. But either way, your laws and your statutes and your rules that you follow in your book say that you were supposed to tell me why the fuck you bothered me. And they got another rule in there that say you don't have to answer no police questions unless they tell you what the fuck, what the fuck. Hell yeah, you got to go in there, you got to read they shit. You go in there, you read they shit, you find out it's a lot of shit they be doing that's just fucking wrong. But this is what I figured, okay? This is exactly what the fuck I figured. I figured this bitch probably fucking knew me. Because, well, I was with the Uhuru people, a couple of weeks before, and like the Uhuru people is a group of black people who supposedly doing stuff for the black community in the black community, and so I was with them. That's what my radio show was with. The Uhuru Black Power 96. I had the bumper sticker on my car. That's what my mama said they pulled me. But they just had a event where they had two of the speakers that was running for office. They had two of them, and the Uhuru had some people who was running too. And so we was at this event, and after the two biggest speakers went, then they were supposed to let the Uhuru candidates go. Jessie and I forgot her name. I forgot her name. But either way, they were supposed to let them speak. But after the two big speakers went, they started doing poetry, and they started doing free dancing, and it's just a whole bunch of other random shit they started doing. Songs. And then at the end, they was like, oh yeah, we ain't got no time for nobody else. And so of course we like, well, what the fuck? These the people that's trying to do something for the black people. They running under the premise of reparations, you know, for black people. And so of course you want them to say what the fuck they gotta say, unless you don't want no reparations. So either way, they shut them the fuck up. So of course we was all walking off, and we was chanting and protesting, but on the way to the car, I noticed that there was a police officer who was following me for a little bit after that. I ain't really fuck with it too much. And then shoot, what ended up happening was, and this is another thing that I think got me. So I was talking to this dude. You remember I was talking to that dude, and he was a vet, and he had PTSD, and I was staying in some low income apartments. I'm talking about the lit, boy. My room was $497, and I ain't have to research but one time a year. And the way my income was,
where you lived upstairs?
Yeah, them nice ass apartments I was in. I was the first person to ever be in that bitch. I got in as soon as they built them motherfuckers. So I'm over there whatnot, and I pull up to my apartment one day, and the police is walking out of my shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? So of course I'm like, where the fuck is your warrant? You know they ain't have shit.
Wow.
And so now you trying to talk to me, trying to figure out what information you need for whatever you came to my spot for, which of course you came for this dude. And I'm like, well, you asking me these questions, but you ain't showing me no goddamn paperwork, bitch. I don't understand nothing you talk about in your legalese. Matter of fact, I am under duress. What? You are stressing me out by talking to me like this. I went and talked to the black officer, because it was a white officer and a black officer, Stabley and Benson. And so I went and talked to the black officer, and the black officer was like, oh, I got a call from one of my homies in Atlanta, and the dude had came back from Augusta. And so, you know, the shit kind of like made a little bit of sense. He told me to come and, you know, mess with the guy or whatnot. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now in my head, I'm thinking, now y'all done sent officers out here, because the dude, I told you, had PTSD. He was Baker acted from my shit before. And, you know, I'm a mental health professional, so I had to call, bitch. You can't just be out here doing everything that you doing and got going on. I actually didn't even call them. I actually called his mama. So, shit, you know, they the one who made the decision to call, but his mama's a nurse. So, she's thinking under the systematic way of thinking of, okay, let me go ahead and call. And so, man, when I tell you they sent officers, they sent mental health officers to the house to check on him. They sent mental health officers. So why the fuck would you send regular officers to do any fucking thing else? Why you didn't send your mental health officers out? That's my first question. You know, either way. And so I'm mad. So the black dude, he's like, well, you know, I'm like, give me a supervisor number. I need to talk to your supervisor, because I don't like this shit. Y'all ain't had no motherfucking warrant to come in this shit, and y'all walking out of my shit. Like, I feel some type of way. Because how many other times have y'all just came and entered into my shit without me being home? What, did you take anything? Did you put something somewhere? The fuck? You know, my whole sense of security is fucked up. And so, I'm like, okay, fine. And so, I hit up the supervisor, and I'm like, hey, supervisor, how are you doing? Let me ask you a simple question, sir.
Wait. How'd you hit him up?
On the phone.
Like, how you talk to him?
Oh, I put my white people voice on. You know, I have a very good professional voice. You know, I got a whole master's degree out here. You know, I dress that shit up. So I'm like, you know, under what circumstances can you enter into someone's home without a warrant? And he was like, well, there are 3 ways. He said, one, he was very nice about this shit too. He was like, 1, if you're let in. 2, if you're chasing someone you're pursuing. Or 3, if there's a felon, we know they in the house because they doing something silly like flicking us off through the window. Oh, okay. And so I said, okay, cool. What other reasons can you enter into someone's home without a warrant? Do you know this bitch had the nerve to be like, I just told you. Oh, well, I'm glad, because your officers just came in my shit. You know, I'm all for it now. Now you talking to me like I'm stupid. It's your officers that's motherfucking stupid. Because why was they in my shit at this point? And so I'm talking to this dude, and then he want to know, well, how'd you get this number? Because nobody's even supposed to have this shit. Bitch, why the fuck was your people in my shit? Because nobody was supposed to be there. And so I pushed the issue. I pushed it. It had been weeks that went by. And I'm still going back and forth with the supervisor and trying to figure out what the fuck finna happen. Because this shit ain't right. And so I will. Okay, I'll be ready in a minute. And so I'm like, you know, I need oath of office information. I need bond information, because you know I be on some other shit with this shit. So I'm finna come for their head. And so I go down there to get this shit. I'm back and forth with the supervisor, leaving voicemails because I need to know what the fuck happened. And so he ended up telling me that the black officer, they both had to take a test to basically make sure that they knew what the fuck they was doing. So the black officer said that he didn't know what he was doing when he entered into my home. He didn't know he was making the wrong move. So he had to go back and take remedial training. He didn't even know if he was going to be a police officer anymore.
Oh, wow.
The white officer, though, knew what the fuck he was doing, so they just let his ass back on the force. He back on the streets. But I was pissed the fuck off. So yeah, I need oath of office and bond information on your officers, because now I'm finna come for y'all head. It took them a whole fucking month to send me this information. The day after they sent me this information is when I got pulled over. And it was Pinellas County Sheriff's Office that entered into my shit, and it was St. Pete Police that pulled me over. And a bitch would be quick to say, oh, well, it was 2 different. No, I don't want to hear about 2 different agencies. Nothing. I don't want to hear that shit. Because this black dude just told me his police buddy in Atlanta said something to him that caused him to go look somebody up all the way down here. That's a whole different fucking agency. So you can't tell me this shit ain't all fucking related. And then I tell you how I know this shit crazy. Because how about a little bit after that, I was leaving from a pretty sketchy area. I had a Dominican friend who was staying at some motels. And so I went over there to see him or whatnot. And when I left from over there, I got pulled over. A bitch say I made a rolling stop at a stop sign. Bitch, it's 2 o'clock. But it's 2 o'clock in the morning. But look, I'm going to tell you what he said to me, because that ain't even the issue. That ain't even the issue. Do you know, when I asked him, what the fuck kind of fly is that? Damn, Maryland got some weird flies. Either way, he said, in so many words, after he done pulled my information, thank you for making this a peaceful stop. And so I know all y'all shit fucking connected, because you knew about me. You knew about my mouth, my attitude. You knew about that shit. That's why you thanked me. Because you knew it could have been a lot harder than this shit was. Bitch, but at least you did what the fuck you was supposed to do. That shit don't fly right with me. Like, so yeah, that's what the fuck happened. That's how I spent the night in jail.
How much your bond was?
I don't know. It wasn't nothing but a obstruction charge. I ain't had no weed on me or nothing like that. I wasn't smoking. So you can't even find nothing else on me, around me.
So your mouth got you in trouble.
Hell yeah, it was my mouth. Shit. I can't even say nothing, but what I can say is it wasn't really my mouth. It was, bitch, you should tell me why you bothering me. And if you don't, you can't expect for me not to have no attitude. Look at all this shit that's going on now in the fucking news, you know? And it's crazy because my job was just on the phone like, oh, you know, I'm a counselor. So when we have our group sessions, it's like a big old group session. It's three black people. And all of us said the same thing. Like, we used to this shit.
Yeah.
We used to this shit. Bitch, I was raised in Georgia. KKK came and marched at my fucking college the year after I graduated. That was 2011, 2012 time. Like, the fuck? That wasn't too long ago. The KKK talking about they immigration issues now. Whatever the fuck y'all got to say, whatever. I can't even believe y'all was allowed to come out here. But yes, I can, because it's Georgia. They got Sons of the Confederate. They got flyers for the meetings. Sons of the Confederate. You know, so it's not like they try to hide this shit. Nobody tries to hide this shit. I'm used to it. A bitch want to talk about the shit they go through. Bitch, I done went and flew in Atlanta airport. And I'm walking out the elevator to security so I can get checked. A bitch gonna stop me by myself and tell me to wait while a whole group of motherfucking white people get on the escalator to come down the escalator to go through security. And I'm just sitting there looking like, what the fuck? Bitch, seriously? You stopped me one person for this shit? And even if you had got a call saying, oh, don't let nobody else through, bitch, you don't know how fucking late I was for my shit. Now, what if I would have missed my flight because you let all these motherfuckers through? Did you let them in front of everybody, or was it just me? Because I'm the only motherfucker I seen you stop. And they was in line in front of me the whole way through security. You know, after, of course, I said what the fuck I had to say. Because my mouth, you already know how it is. But I stopped that shit early because I'm in the fucking airport. It's TSA. And I got shit to do. Bruh, so a bitch gonna ask, you know, how is all this affecting me? And I'm sitting out here trying to help clients and stuff. Man, I just don't even pay this shit no attention for the most part. That's why I don't celebrate shit. You gonna give me a Juneteenth? What the fuck you giving me a Juneteenth for if you still treating me like a motherfucking slave? So
why you always do that shit, man? Like, why you always go against the grain sometimes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you not want that to be a national holiday? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a bad thing, but do people who are not mothers celebrate Mother's Day? People who are not fathers celebrate Father's Day.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
People who are not Christians still observe the holiday.
I dig what you're saying, yo.
Look.
That's not, but listen, though. But that's not who you are. You're a mother. You can celebrate Mother's Day.
But I'm just saying.
You are a mother. But my thing
example.
is this.
But why would I celebrate some free slave shit when I'm not free?
Yo, because that was the national holiday of the day. They're making that the
so
national holiday.
this is what they said.
Listen. This is on paper. You know what I'm saying? When they said everybody, okay, there's no more slave, whatever, boom, boom, boom. Why you just can't celebrate that shit like everybody else? You and I both know that it's still slavery going around. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, racism and all of that. But it's like you be going against the grain, yo. Like, no, I'm not saying like not against the grain, but it's like, I don't know how to explain that shit.
I just don't move when a bitch move. Like I ain't meant for that. I ain't meant to do that. Why should I don't understand. I don't understand why I should
celebrate Christmas.
Nope.
Like, come on, this is crazy, yo. Like,
I feel like I get my baby presents all throughout the year. I just got finished spending money on her.
You being selfish.
So I'm supposed to let's not even get started on Christmas and white Jesus. Because listen.
You're not doing it for that.
Because
you're doing it to give your child the experience and the memories and shit like that. We both know the truth behind Christmas. But to me, you're not being fair to your child, yo. You know what the experience of a Christmas would be for me? For my daughter, taking her to Ethiopia and letting her see that Christmas is actually in January. Because this is where religion started. So why would I not take her to the real root of everything that she got going on? You know?
And Christmas over there is January the 8th. New Year's is September the 11th. How fucking funny is that? So it's like, why would I half-ass her on some information? No, I'm not finna have you over here celebrating America shit, because America is ass fucking backwards. And all they fucking holidays is ass fucking backwards. But they get people to spend money, and black people be spending the money on the shit the most. They be getting people to spend fucking money on shit when they won't. No, I'm not finna go with they shit. I'm not finna move with they shit. I'm not finna move with they grain. I got my own shit. I'm different, I guess. Everybody different, but it's just, I guess, a whole bunch of different motherfuckers moving in the same direction, doing the same shit. You know? I appreciate my ancestors. So no, I'm not finna sit up here and celebrate like we done did some shit. What the fuck did we do? Nothing. We sitting out here protesting now like that shit gonna make a difference. You wanna make a difference? Stop buying their shit. Stop giving them money. But no. Hold on. Because I'm gonna tell you what all this corona shit did. All this corona shit ain't do nothing but make no money for Big Pharma. People don't know Johnson Johnson. Johnson Johnson is the highest pharmaceutical grossing company. Don't nobody know they even make meds. Everybody think they just on baby products.
We know that. But
so
listen, you can't say that the protesting and shit ain't getting nothing done. We're being heard right now. You feel me? This is the most fucking leeway we got in a long time. Like,
that's
you can't
right.
Say that.
That's right. Because when Martin Luther King was out here doing this shit, it wasn't the same way. It wasn't a whole bunch of shit going on about the same issue. We got nothing to handle, right? No, they killed Martin Luther King ass because Martin Luther King said, hey, let's be peaceful. And then he said, damn, I feel like we integrating. He said, I feel like we're integrating into a burning house. And as soon as he said that shit, he got killed. So right now we fighting for rights that we don't need. Bitch, I'm not a part of your shit. You celebrate all your holidays all by yourself. And I will sit over here and not celebrate your holidays, but I celebrate my New Year every single year. Thank God for another year, because I'm black living in this fuck ass America shit. That means I probably won't make it. And I have. So I'm happy about that shit. I'm happy my daughter gets to be here. You know, I'm happy she gets to make it a whole nother year. I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know? But for the most part, shit. I don't know what there is to celebrate. I still got to go to work. Because I still have to pay to live wherever I choose to live at. And I don't even see why I have to do that shit, because I didn't ask to be here. And so all of a sudden, my mama decides that she wants to have a kid, and then she gets a birth certificate, which is a bill of sale to this fuck ass country, and now I have to work for you. So you telling me Juneteenth is here, and I'm supposed to celebrate a freedom that I don't have because I'm a slave of your system.
No, you're not. You're not working for them. You're working for yourself.
I'm a 1099 employee. Yes, that means my paperwork gets written up different. That means that, yes, I do have my own business things going on. But at the same time, my Medicaid money still comes from them, because that's who pays me. Medicaid. They give me my shit. They pay my company, who sends me a check. So it's still systematic. It's just the real truth about it.
I hate when you talk like that.
Yeah, but you're still on the phone, though.
So what, man? I hate that shit, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I feel like it makes it difficult, y'all.
Yep. You damn Skippy. You damn Skippy. It's difficult because I don't get it. Somebody needs to explain this shit to me. Why is it that y'all poisoning the kids with this food? Why is it you poisoning kids with all these concepts? Why is it that you don't really try to teach anybody? Like I don't get it.
You're asking the wrong person. You ask the man above.
Yeah. Now you starting to sound like my mama when I had all them questions when I was little, and she just told me to ask God when I get to heaven.
It's the truth. Ask the man above. You don't have to ask him when you get to heaven. You can pray now and ask him to give you answers.
Lord, can you please tell me why everything is going the way that it is right now? Is it because we as a people don't share the same ideology of freedom? Because this ain't free to me.
Everybody got their own belief, yo. I just feel like you take shit too far. I feel like instead of worrying about all of that shit, worry about how you're gonna become a better person. How you're gonna pave the way for your child. How, you know what I mean? How you're gonna be more successful. Take all that time and energy and invest it in yourself as a person.
I feel you. And guess what days I can do that on? That would give me more days to do it. Father's Day, Christmas, Mother's Day. I can use that
every
time.
day.
I can use those things.
Every day.
And exactly.
Every day.
So why should I have a day that I have to celebrate a father? I love black men. I celebrate black men every day. They fine as fuck. Shit, they're pretty dark skin and chocolate bodies. Let's be real. Like, I love that shit. So it don't take just one day for me to just be like, look, you know, I told my daddy that. I love you every day. I appreciate you every day. I'm not finna celebrate you just on one day.
All right. Point made. Change the subject.
Oh, because it's so much easier, huh?
Nah, because you just be doing too much.
I gotta go wash my mask off my face. I'm doing too much. I look like the mask out here for real. Let me go wash it off.
So what that mean?